I have 4 children. One is in 6th grade, one is in 5th, I have a 3rd grader and a kindergartner. My 6th grader has approximately about an hour and a half of homework every night, minus what he does his normal reading, which is about a half hour. My 5th grader has no homework at night. My 3rd grader has about an extra half hour of homework over her reading, and then my kindergartner, of course, has no extra homework. My talk tonight is mostly about homework and how it takes time away from different activities. I did some research, and a principal by the name of Cord wrote an article called Rethinking Homework. He stated 3 basic reasons as to why homework has a negative effect. Homework number 1 is frustrating, and it causes exhaustion. Students who don't understand the material will go home to parents who don't understand the material, and it will frustrate the parents and the student, which isn't effective to teach the student. Number 2, it takes time away from activities. Students who are into piano, guitar, sports, running, whatever, it can take time away from those activities, which help if the child does activities plus schoolwork, will help to create a child that is more well-balanced. And number 3, they have a loss of interest in learning. That falls back to how, when they're frustrated with their homework, they will have a loss of learning from being frustrated with it. And then the 4th point is that parents don't know how much to get involved. I've talked to many teachers who have had homework that's been done in the parents' handwriting and not the students. And I've had teachers that have had frustration with homework for the same reason that a lot of the students have frustration with homework. The positive effects of homework are largely false. They're not existent. There is a quote from the Principal Karn, and he says, "There is no evidence of any academic benefit from assigning homework in elementary or middle school." We want to, as in a society, we want to create a well-balanced student. We want to create one who enjoys learning, but we also want to create one who is active. The more homework is being piled on children, despite the absence of value. I wanted to also quote from Principal Karn, and he said, "What parents and teachers need is support from administrators who are willing to who are willing to slogans that pass for arguments. The homework creates a link between school and family, as if there weren't more constructive ways to make that connection, or that it reinforces what students are taught in class, a word that denotes the repetition of the rote behaviors, not the development of understanding, or that it teaches children self-discipline and responsibility, a claim which there is absolutely no evidence of." Now, if we look, there is a way that we can fix that problem. We can, first of all, we need to find out what our school's policy is on homework. You can find that out by contacting the school district office. The second thing that you want to do is express your concerns to teachers. If your teacher will not listen, then you need to express your concerns to your principal. If your principal will not listen, then you can express yours to the school board. There is a book that is written, and it's called A Case Against Homework. It has a lot of different surveys in it. Some of the examples from the questions from the surveys is, how much time do you spend with your child on homework? Or does it bring you and your child closer together, or does it cause a lot of frustration? A lot of parents experience where they have to become the disciplinarian and where they have to make the student do what they're told, whereas it causes a friction in their relationship. Whereas if the student and the parent can work together, it's a better environment. These surveys will ask questions like, if the frustration, is there frustration, or does it create a balance or brings you closer to your child? So I would do those surveys. Also, you can attend school board meetings. In conclusion, there is a key to happiness and a healthy child. That is what our main goal is for the child. That's our main goal for what we want our students to have. We want them to have balance. We want them to be able to entertain, and we want them to be physically active. Our society as a whole has an obesity problem. A lot of times students go to school all day long, and then they're required to do an hour and a half of homework. Well, after that, they've got to eat dinner, they've got to practice the piano, and then they have to go to bed. They have no time to go outside and run. They have no time to play. And we're always just doing so much that there is no evidence that homework is actually improves their academic standard. There's no evidence that homework, especially when homework is busy work, when it's just being sent home to try to reinforce what you're doing, when it's just sent home to, memorize these more addition facts. It doesn't really help the student. It doesn't improve their academic standard. I wanted to read a quote from a Dr. Valteret, and he wrote that there's something wrong with homework. There is something wrong when homework doesn't allow for a healthy balance of work, play, downtime, fresh air, and exercise for growing children. Two career families with precious little family time together shouldn't have to compete with homework on weekends and school vacations. Parents shouldn't have to do their child's homework so that the child can get a full night's sleep. When you add classroom time to homework time, the children should not be working longer than an 8-hour day. That is what is really important, and that's what you have to evaluate as parents, as if your child is doing too much homework. If he is doing too much homework, if there's too much class time, as I feel with my sixth grader, Tyler, I feel that he does too much homework. I feel that he is a gifted child. He's in the gifted program, and they assign him busy work instead of actually challenging him. And I disagree with that, and I feel that if you wanted to increase his math skills, the best way would be to not just necessarily give him homework. Thank you.